There we go. Yeah. So even though it's a ski trip, I'm not gonna pick up any poles. I think that would be a blunder of a move for me. Not let's just say the risk reward ratio a little off, just a little teensy tiny bit off there. But I'll still get some leg work like this morning. So today's supposed to be just quads. I might throw a little hamstrings in just for a little something or other. But I am doing the treadmill after for cardio, so that kind of does get a little bit of hamstring, at least if you're doing the treadmill on a minor incline. Like, it's not a ton, but it's a little, So usually I'd say at least try to tone down the post-workout cardio post-legs. That's the only time I would say, maybe go a little easier, drop your time in half, and then do a bigger cardio session later. Because after chest, especially if I bring like a little, I was about to say just protein shake in general, but no, especially if I bring a little raw RTD, which I need to kind of restock up on, or just like anything. Like I probably would recommend you snack on something in between your lifts and post-lift cardio, just so you're running off a little something. But yeah, if you're good with post-workout cardio, I've always said it's going to be your best bet to do an early morning cardio session, like right when you wake up, and then do weights more in the evening. But the more I've kind of varied my training and added different stuff, I think it's probably the most important that it just gets done throughout the day anyway. So you got a certain hour or a certain time period of cardio, you got a certain workout you got to get in. As long as those two things happen and you execute them well, I'd say you're pretty much freaking golden, So dieting, I didn't know I liked this until I dieted hard enough for this last prep. But I actually like doing a morning workout, kind of, not empty stomach. I had a little meal of 3 rice cakes, a can of chicken, a little bit of mustard, a little bit of fat-free mayonnaise. Let me see, I should have the calories tracked for it, because that's the only, a little 400 calorie breakfast, just so I'm running off something. But I don't feel like I need to be completely full of food to have a good workout, especially because I'm never full of food when I'm dieting, Like in an off season, I'm going to have a crazy big breakfast, at least once I've ramped up to like full off season momentum. Crazy big breakfast, nasty lunch, random snacks in between. I don't care if I grab a bag of Skittles if I see one at Sheetz if I'm filling up or something. Totally cool, because I need those carbs anyway. I'm tracking them. I'm coming into the gym, and just from my cross body presses warming up for chest, I've got a freaking chest pump, But dieting, since the name of the game is kind of being flat, not running off glycogen as much and trying to burn body fat, it's just not so crucial, And I feel like I have more fun doing a morning lift, because I can kind of enjoy the rest of the day being a little more chill, just focus on my calories, don't go overboard, eating anything wild. And it kind of feels good to get a morning lift in. It's like, I think you're just starting with a W, But I tell you, this is some freaking wild ass terrain, that's for sure. Like I've seen mountains before. Like I was just in Yellowstone a couple of weeks ago, but this is what I'm talking about, especially with the snow and like the half frozen lake and everything. This is nice. I'd say this has got to be, I don't know if the camera's catching it because it's so bright, but this is a majestic ass drive for sure. I was talking to one of the guys when I picked up the rental car, and his kind of basic story was he came out when he was like, in high school or something, and he never forgot about it. He just moved out here. I could get used to something like this. I'm not going to stay in Ohio forever. Obviously for the foreseeable future, because I got the gym and everything, and it's like there's no reason to completely uproot yourself. Like, just because you get 50,000 Instagram followers doesn't mean you should move to LA and like start trying to rent or start doing like a 12-man on a Urus, so that you're like pretending, you know what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know. I never felt like that because I had a good mix when I was younger. Like, we were still kind of smaller town-ish, but not full-on like country, and I wasn't really in like a big city either, so I didn't have that like aversion. I know a lot of guys like, oh man, you know, I was born in Kansas, just wanted to move to New York, just wanted to go to the big city, or vice versa. Yeah, I always lived in the city, I want to move back to somewhere with a forest or something. Like, yeah, shit, man. I just want to move somewhere where the weather's decent and the weight is heavy. That's all I freaking need. So, I think nothing else to say. Let's just get this freaking quad mainly, but maybe a little bit of hamstring pump started. So, let's just start single leg alternating and go from there. And even though this is like a super old leg extension, or like not super, but like decently old, there's so much leg room. I can actually do like one side at once. If you know, you know, I guess. Okay, one more like that. Oh my gosh. All right, so only 5 plates, but this leg press is like actually at a 45-degree angle, not a 30-degree angle, so it feels a bit heavier. A leg press that isn't as steep, for every plate you put on, you only feel about half a plate's worth of weight, assuming it's at 30 degrees, if you know anything about sine and cosine and everything else. But this will be kind of pumpish, like 20 reps would not surprise me. And that's kind of the point. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's just do the one of those. Oh. Okay, back to leg extensions. That got heavy quick. One more like that, and I think that might be it. Whoa. Okay. Oh, let's see how we're looking. Yeah, so that turned into just quads. And, you know, bathroom, not as hype, but this actually is the coolest lighting. If I could turn this bulb off, that would be cool. But actually, yeah, there we go. All I had to do was stand on that stool. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling pretty freaking lean. A good amount of actual like forearm veins popping out. But let's see how quads themselves are looking with a little bit of extra something or other. Yeah, we're working with something. Let me try a little vein pop out. Oh man, that set of leg press, and then just the set of 3-plate Smith squats hit me way harder than I thought it would. And then I was getting kind of amped for the last 2 sets of leg extensions. Oh jeez. But solid quad session. I'm gonna go hang out on the treadmill for a minute. All right, yeah, that felt pretty good. So, yeah, not too wild. Not too wild. Just, I'd say that was a good amount of heft with a balanced amount of restraint. Because if I overdo it, well then, I'm just asking for trouble. I'm going to tweak something, and, well, you know, not cool. And if anything, I mean, I never want to hurt myself anyway, but I really don't want to hurt myself when I'm dieting, because shit, man, my recovery is already a little bit, let me think, what's the word? You're going to drop your way down to, damn, F10. But my recovery is already hindered from not eating a crazy amount of food. And then if I add like an adductor pull or a hamstring tweak or some kind of other something, my lifts will suffer, and I guess that's really it. My lifts will suffer. And that's where everything starts. I think I was just talking to a couple in there. The guy knew. That's one thing that's kind of funny. Anybody who knows about, the bodybuilding or whatever, they know, and anybody who doesn't, no freaking idea. Which is kind of cool. It makes it sort of chill. But we were kind of talking, and we were talking about like Mike Mentzer training and volume and stuff. And I think there's just a general misallocation of like importance on certain things when it comes to the gym. Like it's always training, like the what you're really doing in the gym. That's what we put a lot of effort into. It's like, okay, am I doing the right number of sets? Am I doing enough? Like, am I hitting my chest from 4 different angles? Am I, whoop-de-doo, whatever. Like, it's so, like, that's what we focus on. Whereas the things that are really going to change your results, I feel, are outside the gym. I guess in the gym as well with your cardio, but like counting your calories, making sure your recovery is on point. Because in the gym, shit, man. I mean, if you gave me like a little storage unit with a cable stack, a leg extension, leg curl combo, and maybe a couple free weights, I think I could still maintain a pretty crazy build. Like to put restrictions on the training side of things would not really hinder the progress too much. But if you told me I could never count my calories again, and I couldn't get my proper protein allocation or protein amount for the day, and I couldn't do my cardio, that would hit me. That would hit me pretty freaking hard, because those are the things that I feel actually have a really big impact on how my kind of physique changes based on if I'm trying to bulk up or cut down or whatever in between. And I really hope that it doesn't come off as that I'm just saying that, because it's not for no reason. Like, that's not just random jargon. Like, if I didn't think that the cardio worked, I wouldn't do literal days worth of cardio during these dieting phases, because like just for fun. Like that's not exactly the point. So just try not to freak out too much about the specifics of anything in particular. Make sure you're kind of a little more well-rounded is sort of my tip. So I guess a way of implementing that, or doing a little bit of like a self-grade. What have you not been doing, right? Have you been counting your calories? No. All right, that might be something to work on. Have you been doing your cardio? Statistically, I can say probably not. That's another thing that's probably going to kind of, push the envelope towards a little bit more gains. All right, so just little things like that. So if you know that all those things are in place, then you're good. all you've got to do is keep going. And it doesn't even feel like something that you have to do, because odds are you've already kind of experienced the benefit. You want to do it, you know? Like, people are going to get on flights or do road trips thousands of freaking miles to go somewhere that they want to go because they know it's fucking cool. Same thing with the gym, you know? It's worth it to do all this cardio and track all these calories and everything else, because the enjoyment that I get from the training and the progression that comes along with it is well worth that kind of down payment of time and energy. And I'm starting to lose my mind here. Well, you get the gist. But yeah, the plan now is go home. I know exactly what the post-workout meal is going to be. I'm just going to repeat what my breakfast was. So, can of chicken, a couple of rice cakes, some mustard, and some low-fat mayonnaise. Just a little bit, about 10 grams of fat's worth. And that's going to be pretty dang filling, at least for, a period of time. And then just try to make sure I drink a ton of freaking water in between that and the next meal. Repeat, and just keep going. So I was kind of hoping it'd be a little snowier, but I guess that means I don't have to worry about spinning out of the road. So this is actually kind of freaking nice. What is it? It's only 50 degrees out. That's cool. That's not I need to bundle up in 4 layers of pants to to get in the car in the gym. I can. Man, what the hell? I thought it was going to be colder than Ohio. This is like, I don't know, maybe it's just a nationwide kind of weird weather spike. I swear winters have been strange ever since 2015 or something. It used to be winter wonderland every December going forward, and then now, shit, man, I feel like snow never sticks. At least, from over in the Northeast where I'm from. I guess if you're anywhere more kind of southern side, like Florida or Kentucky, whatever, you might not even know what I'm saying. You might not even have ever seen snow before. That's pretty crazy. The first time I ever heard that people had never seen snow, that's freaking nuts. But yeah, I would not be surprised if there's a post-workout meal nap. So I guess I'll just get straight to it, kind of jumpstart the recovery process. Lifts for tomorrow, I'm not totally sure. I adjusted my split a little bit. Like, I was doing legs, back, arms, chest, but I don't really love it. Like, I feel like it's kind of weird. Like, I'm still used to my legs, chest, back, arms kind of loop. So since I've kind of been changing it up, I can really do whatever tomorrow. So if I want to make tomorrow a back day or an arm day, maybe even a shoulder day with some forearms, it's open season. Basically whatever feels solid. What did I do yesterday? So I'm not going to do arms because I just did arms yesterday. So it'll either be back or chest. That's what I've got in freaking store. So I'll see you tomorrow for that.